forecast, spot 1, 55, spot 1, lower than forecast, 55, spot 4. 1 year inflation, full spot 7%, full spot 7%, lower than forecast.
Lower than forecast.
5 year, 3 spot 7%.
And up we go, of course.
Lower than forecast, 3 spot 9%. Expectations at 51 spot 7, lower than forecast 52. Conditions at 60 spot 4, lower than forecast 61 spot 3. Looking to the markets, there's strength in the S&P 500 and weakness in the dollar as the University of Michigan inflation expectations come in lower than expected.
We just broke out, JP. We were in it since, you know,
Michigan, September 2025.
for the last half hour, really. We go on later on YouTube, Jam. Yeah, coming back up to monthly. I have it at 754.5. Now that proven to be resistance once. Yeah, but I don't run late for the premium. Premium, the people that actually pay to be here, I'm always on time. Unless Bridges and trade. And then I'm still pretty close to being on time. Even in those situations. I'm not a person who tends to run late for anything. I usually give myself lots of time. So even when I am late, I'm still on time. My car is a little fast. I don't drive the Corvette anymore, so, but it's still fast.
Huh. Yeah, I've noted a live video where UK's Chancellor Williams is currently speaking.
Back down we go. Another rejection. This has been the theme. As you start mastering these conditions, you will start finding consistency in your trading and your profits. Big move, distribution for half an hour. Rejection. So this has been the long spot. Does it give it up though? This has been a key area right here. Long, 67, 68 and a quarter, 10 points right there. Welcome everybody to the YouTube stream. We trade NQ, we trade gold. What's going on in gold? Gold's going kind of a sloppy PDC. Not a really clean setup. And we're coming up to weekly upper band at 800, 802. So the delta, guys, I don't know if you're watching the delta here, but it is weak. Significant change in character on the delta. I'd be careful with any type of bounces with this delta. Delta is dropping like a, yeah, there goes, melts right through it. Certainly dropping like it's hot. Right back down to weekly lower band. I think there's a short opportunity at this point with this kind of delta. We'll see. Or if it rip roars out of this again. So I got a short at 17 3/4. Short 20 3/4. Covered one. You're going to get another big rotation up. Boom. Repositioned at 32 3/4 with one. So up 10 points here. 20 points. Looking for lower. They're not going to make this as easy for me as I want it to be. Put my stop at break even. I can reposition. Stopped. Gonna get back in. In. In at 32.5. Go. $20 points here. Ah. I took it. Delta says no.
In case Chancellor Rates has now finished their
The delta can shift, but right now the delta is not favoring a fade value or extreme. Long. That can shift. But as it stands right now, it looks like a better short. I destroyed that.
Trump says the economy is doing well, prices are down. Keep in mind these comments are coming from a taped playback of Trump departing the White House.
Could be. I don't see it. I see it down. I see an LVN lower around 520. Let me check the composite here. You could be seeing something I'm not seeing. That's totally possible. $78. Yeah, I see it lower. I mean, that's the very top of it, but it's kind of a zone, right? Between 63 and 80.
Trump says if the government has to shut down, it will shut down.
And with the delta, it's not favorable.
NASDAQ 100 touches.
I think it's still a good long spot. I'd go lower. 68. I like 68. Which will pretty much take out the lows. The overnight lows. Now, wait a minute. Yeah, overnight lows. Yep.
According to the Kremlin, they say the calls for shooting down Russian jets amount to a serious spike of escalation near the Russian borders. Again, Kremlin saying that the call for shooting down Russian jets amounts to a serious spike of escalation near the Russian borders.
Now, there's no Madonna. We don't have an initial balance yet. There isn't a Madonna until after 10:30.
Trump now ends his remarks to reporters.
Back test short. The scalps are working nicely. Back test short off of that lower band. Weekly lower band. Ba-boom. I will explain. Yep, it's the first touch of the initial balance, high or low, after 10:30, and we expect it to be a rejection, so we fade it. It's not a breakout trade. We're not looking for a breakout of the initial balance. The more probable trade is the initial rejection of the balance level. It's usually a scalp. We call it the Madonna trade because the initial balance was touched for the very first time. I didn't invent it. I can't take credit for it. Leon, I always say, man, once you see this stuff, you can't unsee it. A lot of people, especially the naked chart traders, they talk about how price action is king. I disagree. You're given three major pieces of information, guys. Three. Price and action traders only look at two of them. Okay. What are the three major pieces of data we're given as traders? And which ones are price action traders not looking at? Volume, that's right. Volume is what drives the market. It's the gas in the engine. Yep, that's right, Mustafa. Time, price, and volume. Everything else on our charts is simply a byproduct of either time, price, and volume, or any combination of those three. Yep, looking under the hood. That's right. X-ray. X-ray vision. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on price action principles. There's a lot of great stuff in that. I just feel it's incomplete. Battling. I'd be surprised if we don't get a test of overnight lows. But the delta's kind of flattening out a little bit, so we can go sideways here for a little bit. We are starting to build a little bit of a distribution down here. So the question is, do we fill this out here? Or is this going to be the tale of two distributions? Be right back. Lower band so far has held, hasn't it? Both the session lower band and the weekly lower band. And Delta is continuing to weaken. Frank, it works on all markets. So you can decide whatever market it is you want to trade. The principles stay the same and they all work. I prefer to trade NQ because of it providing so many opportunities for me to trade. I only trade for futures for 2 hours a day. So by trading NQ, I'm able to hit my profit targets relatively quick. I don't think this thing is bouncing, guys. Sure feels like lower, but we'll see. Short at 88.5. Yes. Come on, go. Woo, boom dog. All right, I'm going to lock this one up too. I traded excellently today. Today and yesterday were some of my best 2 days in a while. Okay. Yep, down it goes. Not surprising. Delta has the story. Look at this delta. This is a 5-minute delta. All right, no sign of strength whatsoever since 9:45.
Raising gains now close to flat on the session.
No sign of real strength since the market open. Here's the first 5-minute candle of the open. It's the only green candle I've gotten on the cumulative delta the entire session. Yep, this is a trade of 8 delta. It's my favorite. I think it's very powerful. No indication of a bounce incoming whatsoever. So I went short. Even at the bottom here, I was shorting, scalp shorting. Grab this one. you guys want to see the mess of my executions, we'll put it on 1 minute. You can see it a little better. That was that tank. That was probably the only bad trade I caught, was this one. 420. The fee is just with the challenge. With top one. Once you have a funded account, there's no fee. Unless you're in Apex. Then they offer you a monthly fee, PA.
ByteDance are to get about 50% of TikTok US's profit under the Trump deal.
We had a meltdown, Tony.
The S&P 500 erased 30 gain, and the Nasdaq 100 falls 4%.
TRI always scalp futures, yes.
Looking into the ByteDance piece.
Do I take because due to the leverage and the day trading margin requirements, I scalp. It's a lot easier. I don't day trade other assets.
Part of the deal orchestrated by Trump.
I trade other asset classes that I don't scalp.
ByteDance is expected
I find futures to be amazing for scalping.
Beyond all revenue generated, making an algorithm available to the US.
Andrew, I don't know if the sentiment has anything to do with the drop. I don't know if this is news driven.
Overall, the Beijing-based parent company will probably get 50% or more of the overall.
The market rotates. Right? We're only down spot 3. Right? We've been going down since all-time highs on Tuesday of last week. So, you know, I don't think this seems particularly news driven. Just seems like a, you know, we're having a pullback in a market that's up almost 40% since the TRO back in April. Record bull run and recovery for the S&P 500. We're going to have down days. Morning, David. Well, that was an aggressive bounce, 50 points. Hey, TR, if you are profitable with your 5 to 10 minute trades, then that's all that matters, right? I'm not here to tell anybody how to trade, but if they are not consistent or not making money, then they could look at how I trade. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to trade. I'll never say my way is the right way or the only way. It works for me, and it works well, and I share this with others. Sometimes you just got to do the opposite, Frank. Just do the opposite of what you think you should do, and you'll make money. I've heard of people secretly inversing their orders. So when you buy, it sells, and they don't know it. They don't know when it's on or off, so they try to just do their best regardless. Can you imagine? All right, imagine coming into trade, guys, and there's a setting on your platform that doesn't tell you of whether you're buying or selling. It's completely random. So you might walk into a day and your buy is actually the sell button. Now your expectation is to trade every day like it's normal. I wonder what that would be like. In theory, it makes sense. I think knowing that your buttons could be reversed would screw with you a lot. So I guess it ruins it. They would have to not be told. So we had some buyers step in there, but that could have just been a little squeeze, rotation up before more downside. Yeah, I'll definitely try the Madonna, especially because, again, we have a LVN right below it. So I'm all in. ES is about to go red. NQ has been red. Down spot 3. Everything's selling off. Except for gold. Gold's up a full percent. I've been expecting NQ to get back down to monthly VWAP, which is all the way down here at 24.3. Could happen today. Could happen tomorrow. It's a good buy spot for anybody looking to buy. And I mean not like futures, I meant like longer term stuff. Delta's kind of holding a bit here. Sideways. First real sign of buyers. We get a little more of a push here. got crushed. You're back. Long at 64 and a quarter, up 10 points. Taking it. Yep. Buyers have stepped in. See what happens here. Rip roaring. Right back to the weekly lower band. Short. 7.5. Ah, flat. Now I'm looking long. Let's go. Right to VWAP. So what I did there, guys, it was right. So we're starting to see a return to value, momentum, buyers stepping on the delta. Tried to take the short at weekly lower band. We got a little reaction there. Took off one contract, had one left. Clearly started to reverse, breakthrough, went flat, flipped long for the ride to VWAP. Astrid, the Madonna is the first test of the initial balance. It's a rejection trade. Could be a VWAP bounce. Oh, it's aggressive. Short at 36.5. Oh, yes. Okay, well. We got the initial rejection. Let's see if it sticks. Got a little bit of a reversal on the delta, but it could go sideways here. It's not the sign of a full reversal yet. Done and dusted. Nice, Tony. Also, Tony, it's Friday. There's nothing better than ending off a Friday with a good trading day. And on the other side of that, there's nothing worse than ending off the week with a bad trading day. Because then you get to spend all weekend thinking about it. All right, let's do that was a VWAP bounce, guys. All right, so what made this a VWAP bounce setup? Time and price discovery outside of the bands and distance. We had a couple of back tests. We're discovering. We had the return to value. VWAP bounce short. All right, let's do a trader check-in, guys. It's about 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did you follow your rules today? Did you trade the setups? Were you patient? And then what did you accomplish? Awesome, JP. Carlos, I know the feeling. Break even at the moment. Tight on my stop loss. All right, first time here. Just learning. Welcome. All right, Corey, follow the rules, and I'm red in the day so far. All right, there's nothing wrong with a red day when following the rules. 570 on cash, but had a lead loss and had to recover, so happy plus. Yeah, sometimes it's good just to end there, you know, down 167. All right, small loser. Bruce, yeah, we're going to need to get in a lot of reps and practice. And especially the volatility of the morning and the open can catch you really off size if you have too much size. So, hey, Andrew. Well, I think I saw something. Biggest win right at the opening bell. Cool. Hit my prop target, got greedy and lost half of it, and clawed up my way back up. Learned the importance of locking myself out. That's right. And you don't have to stop trading, guys. I'm a huge advocate of locking yourself out and moving to a simulator. Get your reps in, get your practice. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, simulators are bad for you, that blah, blah. I think simulators are fantastic practice, right? The more reps you get in, the more time you're in positions, seeing the price action, not just sitting there watching it, but with a position on is a good thing. Okay, we practice here, we drill. You don't always have to have risk on the line to practice and drill. So get comfortable using simulators, right? I know we're all here to make money, right? I get it. But also, we need to not lose money at the same time. And that comes with practicing in a simulator. Not losing money is a win. Nice, Eric. We're getting some pretty good price action so far this session. I feel like it's been pretty predictable and reliable so far. Every single one of my arrows has been a setup I've actually taken. Most of them. I didn't take this one.
In 10 minutes time out at the top of the hour, you get the news of the Canadian budget balance. Wow, was 3.63 billion.
And I took this return to value breakout too, didn't I? Yes, I did. You have to activate, Frank, you got to activate your, yeah, it's an add-on. Go to your settings and preferences, go to add-ons, and then it'll say order flow plus, and then you'll activate that, and then it will show up in your indicators. I use the web app. I literally can't tell a difference. I'm pretty sure like the app itself is just like a browser, an app version of the browser version. I really don't think there's a difference between the app or the web version. Maybe my computer geniuses can tell us about that, but they seem identical to me. Yeah, I have like I said, I have a working version. It's about there, guys. Flux now has it. They're just making some minor comparisons on timeframes and stuff like that, and then we just need to update it, right? It's essentially ready. So just sit tight. We just want to make sure the quality is perfect, because what happens is we roll it out and then we have to update it and roll it out again. So we want to make sure it's good before we hit the button, so to speak. But it's ready. It's essentially ready. We just need to roll it out. We're just making a couple of tweaks, comparisons, making sure everything's perfect and ready to go. It's gonna be its own pane. So technically it's a separate indicator, even though it's included in the toolkit. It's not gonna be a separate cost, but it will technically be a separate indicator because it's in its own pane. If that makes sense. Thank you, Jay Small. Appreciate it. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I've actually really been trying to up my game on the commentary. A couple of people have commented and given me really positive feedback, and I'm continuously trying to up the game on what I'm seeing and trying to communicate it to you guys. Thank you, Logger. Thank you, Owen. It's starting to look so yesterday, even though it was a down day, we never really left the initial balance. I suspect we might have a similar day today where we stay within the initial balance. The fact that we're holding under monthly upper band and weekly VWAP, though, I would lean bearish if I were forced to choose. It just seems like, ever since we put in all-time highs last week, it seems that sellers have kind of been in control a bit. And since yesterday, it seems like we might be forming a bit of a balance area here because we're still within yesterday's value area. All right, we tried to leave it to the upside. We rejected. We rejected to the downside of the low volume node we put in right here. All right, so we went to this low volume node, and this is also the composite on the weekly point of control composite is literally the low of this session. So if we do break lower, I don't think we're going to break yesterday's low. I expect us to stay within yesterday's range. I would say an inside day. Again, now I don't have a crystal ball. Anything can change, but based on the price action and the range that we've developed and the moves that have happened so far, that's what I would speculate. We could break these lows, and then we can go back down to this value area low of the composite, 465. I really don't think we'll go lower. I guess anything is possible. And then what I'm really watching for is this weekly VWAP down here, 24.3. Look at this monthly VWAP. Just stair step. Awesome. Right Side Studio Radio, and there's more coming. We're going to keep updating it and making it awesome.
One minute remaining for the Canadian budget funds.
And I'm going to shut this down here. I'm going to keep watching with you guys, but I'm not taking any more trades on a Friday. I traded really well. Just to recap.
Seconds. Minus one spot.
Over $1,000 in my three each 150Ks. Up to almost 7K in profits in each account. So what? I have to trade 3 more days next week, and I can take this payout. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday will be day 8. I got to trade 10 days. Enjoy, Andrew. And that's times 3. I didn't know this, guys. You know, you can click on the day and see what your P&L looked like for the day. It's cool. So most days have been pretty stress-free. My first day was the roughest. And that was all on stream too. Took it right out of the open. 939, $2,600 loss. Caught it all back within 6 minutes. No, 15 minutes. 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Crazy. So that was the only really stressful day. All this week was low stress. Never went red, except for there by $127. So we'll keep it going. And this Apex account, I got my $50 in it today. So what I got to do is I got to trade five days, $50 per day, which I think I'm almost there. I think I only have like 1 or 2 more days to do. And then I could flip the other days, which means just trading a micro and selling it. So it counts as a day. And then I can re-request my $2,000 payout with Apex that they denied because I violated the 30% drawdown rule. The only firm that has that rule, might I add. That's correct, TR. I hit my profit target and then I stopped trading. Sorry, Tony. The rules don't agree with my trading strategy. That's the problem. It's not. The rules are just, you know, I'll take some bigger L's. I'm not, you know, it is what it is. I can handle it for the most part. Sometimes it comes to bite me, but overwhelmingly it does not. Hell yeah, Danny. Good job, man. So we're still kind of fleshing out a bigger distribution here. So how I see this is we got to trade above 663 to see more upside. I would say everything in this zone outside of some crazy momentum is going to be a sell.
Op-ed in the Times. Again, Bank of England Stinger giving an op-ed to the Times, playing down inflation and calling for rate cuts.
As we continue to trade in this distribution here. And then we got one here. All right, so this is kind of our line in the sand. And we can expect to go like this. Or actually more like this. CVD helps. I use it as kind of just an overarching sense of who's in control at any given time and try to get some type of theory on what the overarching bigger players are doing, you know? And that kind of helps me filter my trades a little bit. I don't generally get signals off of it by itself. It's a confluence tool, confirmation tool. Oh yeah, I did see that. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it happens, guys. It happens to everybody. You're not broken, I promise you. We are not hardwired to be good traders. It's something that needs to be learned.
We have posted out Bank of England Stinger's op-ed in the Times on the feed for the.
We are hardwired to do the exact opposite of what trading requires from us.
Bank of England Stinger in this said the UK.
So good news though, it can be learned. Bad news, it's not easy. Is essential. I think so. As long as you could have one indicator on the page and you have live futures data, it should work. It can't be the free one because I don't think you could have live futures data with the free one. So that's my understanding. So you can have the bare minimum package as long as you have live futures data. If you're trading futures, I don't even know if you're trading futures or not, but I'm assuming you are.
Bank of England Stinger says earnings play a smaller role in services CPI.
So Echo, the only difference is you're gonna make smaller amounts of money. It's all scalable. So what I tend to see, Echo, is people have profit goals that are too extra for the size that they're trading, right? They might have like a $400 profit target or $500 profit target, and they're only trading like 1 or 2 micros. That's going to be really hard to do every day. You're going to need much bigger size to consistently do that without overextending yourself or driving yourself crazy or over trading. So generally, it's fine. Just have very low expectations and low profit targets. With 1 or 2 micros, I would shoot for like $100. Maybe 150. I've been there. I've blown 20 PAs all at once. More than once. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Literally got the t-shirt. Go to my merch store. You also too can buy the t-shirt. Yeah. Yep. I torch accounts all the time. I blew that top. I got a payout out of that top 1 account. I only had $400 in drawdown. Blew it on the first trade, but I kind of expected that would happen. Not a fan of the 50Ks. More of a 150K trader, but I did want to demonstrate that you could take them to payouts, and I did.
Bank of England's Dingram says shocks driving UK's high inflation will fade, and we should not be overly cautious about cutting interest rates. In a statement, Canada's PM Carney and Australia's PM Albanese discussed opportunities to deepen economic and trade cooperation.
And also, with Apex, there's been several occasions I wanted to pass the evaluation on the first day. So you buy 20 evals, you blow it on day 1 trying to get it passed, and then you buy another 20 all in the same day. Wouldn't be so frustrating if you didn't have to buy 1 at a time. My credit card company is like, what the is going on? Why do you have 40 $15 charges?
Forward shares are up 4% since July last year.
Well, I do pay a majority of the bills here, so I do have a little leeway. Don't get me wrong. All big purchases need to be run by the boss. And the boss ain't me. Cue the Frank gif. Listen, guys, the boss keeps me in check because, in a good way, as a trader, and, when you start dealing with large amounts of money, you kind of lose appreciation for certain amounts of money, right? She keeps me grounded with that. I bet a lot of shorts are trying to catch the big move down. I'm getting very frustrated right here. We're in about a 20-point distribution. I mean, I would say, so it's kind of a wider distribution, but if you take the value area high, it's probably like this. Value area low. So anything above here is going to be excess price. Anything below here is going to be excess price. We might get that Madonna trade. I'm watching for it. I'm going to take it. Oh, I closed my thing down, didn't I? Well, I'll take it in spirit. I told myself I wasn't going to take any more trades today. Some bleed out on the CVD here. Still above all the recent lows. So far we put in a higher low here, a higher low here, and a higher low here. So there's a divergence. All right, delta's like this. And prices like that. So you got some big players on, it looks like on both sides getting filled on the passive. So this is an interesting area, at least for a temporary bounce. You know, maybe we'll get the flush of the lows. We have an LVN right here. So it's attractive. So what about, I just look at the overnight charts, get an idea of whether it was a price discovery or a balance session. If it was balanced, how wide was the session and what were the key levels? But I have to say, with this system, you really don't have to do an entirely large amount of analysis, right? Because it's all right here on the chart for us. So since we're reacting to structure, you know, it's just kind of, you know, there's benefits of back testing and review and journaling and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of like pre-market analysis, it's not really, you know, I like to have an idea of what's happening. But aside from that, you know, I watch the chart and it sets up for me or it doesn't. And I'm just looking for the setups. But yeah, I do keep an eye on Delta. I do keep an eye on the VIX, but mostly during trading, not while I'm not trading. I mean, I have it on my phone and I watch what's happening and stuff, but I don't think that make or breaks anything. I like to be in tune with the market. I know what we're doing every day. I know what the crypto markets are doing. I know what the bond markets are doing, US equities, foreign equities, energy markets, precious metals. Generally always keeping my thumb on all of it. Currencies, the dollar especially. But I can't see that any of that really make or breaks my day trading. Exactly, Michael. Yeah, the only reason I would care what it's done in the past is because I'm looking for relevant levels to trade off of. Low volume nodes, previous point of controls, essentially. Nice, Tony. It's all subjective, Echo. I'm trying to just measure the current volatility. You know, where's a reasonable side of value? You know, based on how much volatility we have currently going. I think that's another skill that a lot of newer traders lack, is kind of understanding the current volatility we're in and what makes a realistic price target and what isn't. Right? We're trading, I'm always saying we're in a, we're in a 40-point range here, right?
Interior Minister says drones have
Take whatever your range is in,
Interior Ministry says
cut it in half. Maybe even take a quarter of it. That's what you can realistically and probably capture reliably. Over and over again. You're never going to capture the whole range. If you can capture half of the range, you're an amazing trader. No, I would say the most recent volatility. So the most recent candlesticks, right? The initial balance was set, right, due to the entire morning's volatility, the whole first hour. Right now, if I went for much bigger moves, I might do that, but I don't. I go for, we're in a volatility pattern right now where these 2-minute candles are, 15 points. Right? So I'm not going to capture, 15 points in the next 5 minutes probably. I should be going for 5 points if I want something. Volatility has died out. Slow now. Grinding.
Second half of this year. They say global growth is to rebound to 2.5% next year.
That's a great question, Stealth Poker. I think I think it can in certain situations. I think if you're already very consistent and profitable, I think it's worth it. If you're still struggling to get payouts, I would not pay for it. I think those that are inconsistent pay that reset fee back to funded because they're feeling a feeling of desperation that they blew their account and they want to be made whole again. And they'll probably just wind up blowing it again. Right? If you're not consistent, go back to the combine. You have more work to do. That's my opinion. No need to spend more while you're still trying to figure it out. How long do they give you to reset it? They give you a long time. Like take Profit Trader, I think gives you a long time to reset a blown pro. Infinite. Okay, there you go. So keep it in your back pocket. Maybe one day it will make sense. I have some blown Take Profit Trader Pro accounts that I can activate. Now those are like $600 for a 50K. I forget what Top Step is. No. There they get you.
Connection lost.
They're FOMOing you guys. Bastards. I don't think Take Profit Trader does that. Tony would know. I'm kind of not a fan of that, guys. I feel like it's a bit predatory. Why not just offer instant funded accounts in the first place? Like, what the hell? It makes no sense. Why am I going to go to Top Step and pay back to funded when I could just buy an instant funded elsewhere and not have the time requirement? Oh, Blaze, don't get me wrong. I've taken a lot of money out of Top Step. Never had a problem getting money out of them. Close to 40K in profits over on Top Step alone in the last 4 months. Payouts, not just profits, payouts. But Blaze, the problem is now I don't need to do combines. I just bought the top one instant funded. Why do I have to go through a combine? I could pay the same price for instant funded. And the 9K I do in my instant funded, I'll actually get a payout in instead of doing 9K in a combine and then starting at zero. $300 later. Doesn't make any sense. I don't have any giveaways left, Roadrunner. I gave them all away. I'll have a new bunch for October. I gave everything away. Pretty sure. Shit. There's
French PM says austerity budget for 2026 is out of the question.
Good news. Good news. I have a giveaway. Top one. Top one giveaway. Pick Ali Jane. I don't pick. ChatGPT picks. Ali wants to win real bad, I know. Who wants Ali to win? Chris GPT. All right, guys. Well, hit the like button over on YouTube for me. That way we can get more of these. They like to see the engagement. They like to see the likes.
7% of GDP next year.
So they give me these things to give away to people. Awesome. Thanks, Tony.
French PM says the
all right, so the way this is going to work, if you're new to the stream, I'm going to say a word, and the word is not word. When I say the word, which is not word, you're going to put it in the chat. Putting that word in the chat is going to enter you into the giveaway. Everybody has an equal chance of winning. Simply putting the word in the chat will put your username on the list, at which point ChatGPT will compile a list of all the usernames, and it will pick one at random. So again, I'm going to say the word, and the word is not word. At which point, it's at 32 now. All right, here we go, guys. Let's give away a top one funded account for Friday. It's 11:30. This is going to be my last good deed of the day. And it looks like we're starting to get some upside grinding. This is the value area high, low volume node we've been watching. So the word is going to be LVN. LVN. Put the word LVN in the chat. This will enter you into the giveaway for a free top one trading account. While you guys do that, I'm going to tell GPT how this is going to work.
PM says some taxes are to rise and some are to fall in the budget plan.
You don't have to put the word more than once. Okay. We're doing a giveaway on stream for a top one futures account. I'm going to post the transcripts here. Please compile a list of all the usernames and please pick one user at random. Everyone has an equal chance at winning. LVN, low volume node. One of my favorite levels to trade off of. You show me an LVN, I'll show you a trade. All right, we're going to close the doors here in about 15 seconds, so get your LVN in quick. Time's a ticking. Time's a ticking.
Paul News says if we cannot get a French budget between now and the end of the year, the deficit could be at 6%.
All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The doors are now closed. The doors are now closed.
Tax isn't the right response for France.
All right, who's ready? Who's ready? The winner is, drum roll, please. You know, ever since ChatGPT rolled out ChatGPT 5, here we go. And the winner is, look at all these users. Anthony. Anthony is the winner of a new top one account. Congratulations, Anthony. Anthony, all you have to do to claim your... Oh, weird. We're rejecting up here. Huh. Who would have thought that would have been a sell area? Bizarre. Okay. Anthony, all you got to do is DM me on Discord, and I'll make sure you get set up. congratulations and good luck trading that account. I'd love to see somebody get some payouts on these giveaways. Yep, this is a low volume node on the session volume profile. It's also VWAP. It's also the volume profile of this capitulation candle that we had. And yeah, there's an IB mid. So you can call this a plus short zone, at least for a quick reversal. But there is a distribution here. I don't know if you could see it. It's probably hard to see. But there's a distribution right here. And there's a distribution right here. This is the low volume area. So I said sells around here. We kind of went right up to it, right around VWAP. All right, guys. Have a wonderful Friday. Thanks for joining me this week. If you didn't trade well this week, your homework this weekend is to figure out what went wrong. Do your studying, do your back testing, do your journaling. Right? That's where the real work happens. Trading is the fun part, guys. The real work takes place in the review. So don't skimp out on your review. If you're really serious, take the time, put the work in, analyze what you're doing, why you're doing it. Because if you're not, you know, I can't really help you. All right, guys. If you're going to keep trading, we have 3 new channels in the Discord. We have an NQ channel, we have an ES channel, and we have a gold channel. All right. If you have a preference for trading any one of those products, you are now in luck. You can go to the room where traders will be trading those specific products. All right. This is a test. I think we'll see how it goes. Seems like it's popular so far. I'd love your feedback. We can always revert back if people aren't a fan, but so far it seems to be popular. So if you're going to keep on trading, head on to over to one of those channels. Manage your risk. Stay sharp. You can share your mic, share your screens. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. We have group coaching, not Q&A this Sunday. We'll have a Q&A this Sunday. Okay, guys, have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your weekends, and we'll be back at it on Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Discord members, 10 a.m. on YouTube with the delayed stream. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Thanks for joining me this week, and I'll see you next week.